Hi sweet friends, my name is Jeannie. Welcome to my channel. Today I am kind of giving a little fall refresh to my dining room where my breakfast nook is, and I wanted to share it with y'all. Not changing a lot because I really don't want to do a lot. I'm trying to downsize all my seasonal stuff, and for now we'll see if it's going to work or not, but I'm really trying to. Plus I'm having trouble getting my fall bins out of the garage because they're too heavy and too in the wrong place for me to get them. There's lots of boxes stacked on top. So for now I'm going to have to do what I'm going to have to work with what I have, because I really don't I don't want to bother my husband, and I can't get to him myself. So I don't want to buy anything new. I'm just going to go with what I have. So let me show you what I've gotten to so far. I haven't done anything different here, and I'm certainly not going to throw away my houseplants for this, but I stacked a lot of my crocks down here, and they kind of look cool. This is a bench that I have that matches my my dining room table, and I have just a peg rack that I put up here last year, and I just hung some cutting boards from it. And here I have a few scales and a few more crocks. I have my collection of, let me turn this light on here, my collection of tomato spoons here, and just a few house plants. This is one of those boards, like a charcuterie board. I think I got it from Target a few years ago, and just a piece of petrified wood there. And this is one of those vintage candle molds. And I have a few other things in here, some vintage silverware and such as stuff like that. Some old scissors, just some old silverware and stuff that I really like. Another, that's another scale there. And this is a crock with a fern in it. And a couple of white pitchers. I just love that. So, and then up here I have my scale here, and a collection of old bowls, except for this one. This is a Ray Dunn. And just, you know, my regular stuff here. I have another house plant up here, African violet, and my little candle here with my little favorite Target striker and match holder. And over here I just have another house plant on top of some crocks. And I moved this cabinet back in here. And I just moved my vintage candle holders in here, candelabras in here. I do not have it, do not have candles in it right now. And I just got home, so I don't have my diffuser going, but I could easily do that. And I have my little vintage stool here with, it's some sort of cactus. It could be Easter, it could be Christmas, could be Thanksgiving, I'm not sure, but everything's looking pretty good over here. I had a lot of blooms on my my orchids this year. And this cabinet, I just redid it. I did it a couple times, so I didn't do it in front of you guys, but right down here I have a big cutting board that my husband and I made ourselves, this rectangular one with feet on it, and I just love that. We've given a couple away as wedding gifts, so that's kind of cool. And then this is one of those Indiana Glass Company, I don't know what this is called, but I like it as a sunflower, but I have a couple of those old canisters like that, and I just have some empanada molds in there. And a big recipe box with a doily and some vintage dishes. I really want to find more of these dishes. I just love them. Here I have I got this recently from Walmart. It's one of those little scalloped edge pots. I got it in the gardening section, but I have a small collection of juicers there. You know, the handheld juicers that you just squeeze the lemon out, or lime, whatever. And then I have a small collection of some of my favorite cookbooks here. Here are these. I put a couple of my brown and white dishes. I still don't know what these are called, but I love them. And another recipe box. And I thrifted these little oh, what's her name? The lady that does, I think I have one of her books right here. No, Pioneer Woman. I thrifted these a while back, and I just think they're beautiful because they have sunflowers on them. So, and then up here I have my small cow creamer collection and a couple of milk or cream bottles. So this is a cream bottle, like a glass. I got this at a vintage market a few years ago, Bowman Dairy Company. I just think it's really neat. I love the shape of it. And my little, I think my cow creamer's either stained or dirty. I'm not sure, but that's okay. And then a couple of little, this may actually be a juice glass. I'm not sure, but this is a vintage, I got this at a vintage market too. It's a milk jug. And over here I have a few more. I just love them. And then I got this creamer. I got this, I think it was in, what's the name of that town? It got, it's in North Carolina. It got damaged really bad by the hurricane. Anyways, we got this there at an antique shop. Actually, I think it was in, not Blue Ridge, but Maggie Valley, North Carolina. And there's my little cow creamers, and I just decided to put a leaf here, and I've had my cutting board here. On top, oh, I don't know if I told y'all, my daughter busted out one of the pieces of glass. Something was on the dishwasher, on the dryer, or on the washer, and it fell off. And anyways, I had to put, my husband and I put the, this little screen in it, so it doesn't have the glass, and we broke the rest of the glass out and put that in there. I don't know if you recall, I have these two. I have a winter one and a fall one, autumn one, and it's the Currier and Ives. I ordered these off of Macari not too long ago, and I love them. And then this little Target picture. Here's one of my beautiful stained platters. And up on the top, I just put a cutting board and one of my pretty scales. I love that scale. A couple of old pictures. These are a few of my mashers, and I put a little pumpkin up there. And my Target lamp that I just love so much, and this is a just a riser. This is one of the old butter molds, and I just love the square butter molds. I think they're so pretty. I like the round ones too. And this is just a pot. I thrifted it. It was yellow, and I painted it. And then I have a bunch of old and new wooden utensils in there. I have on my Alexa, I have a beautiful fall scene here, like a fireplace, and it's crackling in the background. It's so pretty. And this is just a vintage chalkboard, and I just wrote autumn on it. And I have another picture here with some dried floral, I guess you would call it. I don't know, dried stems or of some kind that I got from Hobby Lobby a few years ago. Haven't done much here. Here's another thing. It's my sunflower apron. I've had this up here since summer. I like it a lot. It's got bees and sunflowers. And I really want to order new curtains, but right now I still have my paint cloths, drop cloths. I have two vintage bread boxes down here and a pie safe there. I have a little pie carrier. And I have an old chicken. It's not really old. It's a chicken. Yeah, I guess it is vintage. But I poured a candle into it, and I love it. And then a little picture with some string of hearts on it. And on this side, I moved this over here, and I just have a couple of recipe boxes and Crocs and Dundee jars and vintage cups, glasses, whatever. A couple of old utensils. I just love this stuff. My salt and pepper green transferware salt and pepper shakers. Another recipe box, a Mason Cash vintage mortar and pestle, and I have two of the round butter presses, butter molds there, and a couple of little crocks there. I love this stuff, y'all, so much. A couple of little creamers, and I have an elephant ear one there too. A lot of my essential oils here, and here's a butter holder, like a cheese holder there. I love that. I thrifted that at a thrift store down in the Keys, and I just love it. And down here I have more of the little crocks in the Dundee jars and the Frank Cooper jars, marmalade jars, and a few of my old Ray Dunn stuff that I really still like a lot. And up here, obviously I don't have this on very high because it hasn't melted yet, but I have a, I got this at Walmart. It's supposed to be looking like a vintage radio, and it's a, wax melter. And then I have this, I got it off of, what is her name? Eleanor Rose Home. She has some free printables on her website, and I just thought that was so pretty. I just put it in a thrifted frame, and I love it. And an old biscuit cutter here. I assume maybe it's a donut cutter. I'm not sure. Cookie cutter, donut cutter, I don't know. But it's got a hole in the middle, so it's probably not a biscuit cutter. This is my collection in a crock of old butter paddles, and all these are butter paddles, and all of them are old. And this is a very large cutting board here. It's very old too. That's why I kept it against the wall, and it's actually attached to the wall. Over here I have a vintage zinc French bottle rack, drying rack, and I put a bunch of old bottles on it. I just love them. I saw that on something, and I can't remember what it was. I saw it maybe on Pinterest, and I fell in love with it, so I decided to put a little pumpkin on top. And I have an old bleach bottle back here that I have there, and then I just put this, I'm sure this, I thrifted this, and I'm sure it's from an old mixer, so I thought that was really neat. And then up here I have this is a, oh my gosh, I can't remember what that is right now. I can't remember what it is. I think it's just a, hold on, I can't remember, y'all. I think I got this off of Macari, but it's a, I can't recall what it is right now. It's some sort of a mixer, but I can't remember what it mixes. I think it's like a, for butter, maybe? I don't know. I can't recall it this time. I really can't. I'm sorry. And then up here I have an onion board and another cutting board. And then a another wood vintage mold for butter. Another crock with some utensils and some more of my mashers. And over here I have a bunch of my mashers, and I have a couple more onion boards here and cheese boards, and I have my one little chick here. It's so cute. My little hen on a nest. It's antique, and my husband got it for me last year sometime. And I have a couple of old bread boards and a like a cookie mold there. And down here I have another vintage breadboard, but it's German. And this is just one of those bottles that's melted down, and it's so pretty. I love it. And another few mashers, and another onion board. And these are spice grinders or nut chopper. You know, they like disintegrate the spices in like nuts and stuff like that. So they're really neat. They're different kind of textures, but they're all real sharp. And this is my Aunt Penny Chip Jet Charming. And then I have a couple of bonbon spoons or sugar spoons there. Over here I have another cool cutting board, and it's a Give Us This Day Our Daily Bread. And then I have another vintage cutting board that's German. I have another crock full of like an empanada mold and multiple wooden utensils. I have a little basket with some sunflowers, This is an old flour tin, and my this is a applesauce sifter thing. And we have pellets for our smoker, and my favorite beer there. Like I said, I don't have all my fall stuff out because my husband's slacking a little bit, but that's okay. He works a lot, and he also drives, an hour and 15 minutes to work. Okay, so y'all know I usually put all my pumpkins up here, but I do not have them up here this year. I have my big dough bowl and all my vintage, well, not all my vintage scales, a bunch of them, and then I put this. It's from Hobby Lobby several years ago, but they still have it. But it's this garland with the cream-colored berries and the tan honey-colored leaves, and I just think they're so pretty. And then I left my campfire marshmallow tin in there, and I have my sunflower spoons here. And then I just have a bunch of my old pottery dishes, and I just love them. Here's my handmade bread and butter. What do you call those things? Bread and butter wooden plates. They're vintage, but these are not vintage. I made them. Have an old chopper here and a coffee mill there. Coffee grinder mill, whatever you call it. Over here I have some vanilla ice cream tin, another coffee mill, a couple of old wooden plates back there, and a pretty wooden, this is my favorite one, the round cookie mold there, butter mold. Here I have a collection of ice cream scoops that are very old. I love those. And I have another bit of a collection of the Falstaff. I have a honey, a sugar, a creamer, and then a couple more butter molds, an egg tray there, another recipe box, and I just love this stuff, y'all. And lastly on the bottom, I have a bunch of different things. I bought a couple of real pumpkins here already. They're at Publix for us, so they were 2 for $4, so I could not resist these cute little white pumpkins here. And I have a couple of amber bottles here. And I think they're both bleach bottles. No, one's a bleach bottle and one's a growler. Some vintage pitchers and some vintage graters, some espresso cups, another mortar and pestle. And I've just put this on top of a copper riser. And this is I know you guys know what this is. This is a slop bucket. And an old French cutting board back here. Another mortar and pestle. Some more vintage spoons. Another grater. There's a nutmeg grater there. And just some pretties here. A couple more square rectangular butter molds. And that is it for that. And on this side I have, it's getting a little dark in here. I have just a vintage table where I put my old bunny there. I love that bunny. I don't know why I can't put it away. And another crock there. There's my Daisy girl. I have a crock with a philodendron coming out, and my one of my Bible books that one of my friends gave me when I moved away from my old job. And a 10-gallon crock here with a wooden dough bowl and this decorative wooden bowl and a bunch of rolling pins. And I have a coffee pour over here thing. Give us this day our daily bread. My favorite, one of my very favorite antiques right here, and that's just this rolling pin and dough board right here that my husband got me years ago. The rolling pin is newer for me, but it is an antique. But he got me this dough board. It's one that holds the rolling pin there, and I just love it. And my garlic here, in my French drying rack, bottle drying rack, that I have a collection of creamers on of all different sizes, and I just love them. Most of them are stained. Some of them are stained, not all of them, but a bunch of them are. And then I have my little Danish paddle here, breadboard slash paddle, and I just love it. And then I have another apron here that I just love. I haven't done the table yet, but I'll finish up with that.
Open up the window, I'm breathing in the last of September. I can feel the wind blow, and the late summer sky is like a giant ember. Everything is turning into gold. When the autumn leaves are playing chase, it puts a smile up on my face. They leave their branches one by one and whirl around there just for fun. Some are faster, some are slow, and some are high and some are low, dancing through the last days of September. Since I was a little child, every year for as long as I remember, all the leaves were running wild, going all the way until November. Turn the world around us into gold. When the autumn leaves are playing chase, it puts a smile up on my face. They leave their branches one by one and whirl around there just for fun. Some are faster, some are slow, and some are high and some are low, dancing through the last days of September. I wonder where they're going, the flight of swallows sailing through the sky. There's no way of knowing, but maybe someplace far from you and I. When the autumn leaves are playing chase, it puts a smile up on my face. They leave their branches one by one and whirl around there just for fun. Some are faster, some are slow, and some are high and some are low, dancing through the last days of September.